When it comes to ceremonial magic, sometimes the tools involved may seem prohibitive due to the associated costs. For example, a traditional Golden Dawn air dagger can run anywhere from 100 to 250 US dollars. Likewise, on average, a fire wand can carry a price point between $90 to $135. Now, this isn't limited specifically to the Golden Dawn. I'm just using those tools as an example, but understandably, this could potentially deter some people from exploring such practices. However, I don't believe that a spiritual tradition should ever be cost prohibitive. These paths should be open to anyone who wants to deepen their own spirituality and their connection to the divine. So, in this episode, we'll be discussing not only how to craft your own ritual tools, but how to do so on a budget. There won't be any real tutorials or demonstrations this time. Instead, I will be showing you some of the tools I have crafted and the tools that I use, and going over as best as I can what the associated costs are and the materials and techniques used. Hopefully, this will help stimulate your creative juices and give you some ideas. So we will start with the ritual tools, and we will go with wands because I honestly absolutely love wands. The most inexpensive wand that I made and use is my ancestor wand here. As you can probably tell, it's just a simple piece of wood. Now, I say simple as me in reference to construction materials. This is actually a very special wand to me. If you've watched any of my Alchemy of Loss videos, you will know that my second wife, Sarah, passed away when I was living in Duluth, Minnesota. Before I moved back east, I went out into the woods that surrounded our home, walked around in the forest until I found a fallen branch which called to me. In this case, it actually happened to be a piece of birch, which incidentally was Sarah's favorite tree. Um, so I took a length of the wood back east with me. Once I got to Virginia, you can see I did little bit of minimal shaping with sandpaper. Gave it a stain to really highlight that beautiful wood grain. And then I used a piece of metallic tape to differentiate the handle from the business end. If we had the tape on hand, if I would have had to have bought the tape, I think we originally paid around $5 or so for it. If I would have had to buy the stain for a small container, that would have been about two or three. So, very minimal cost investment in this wand. As you can probably guess, when I called it an ancestor wand, I use this for any work regarding ancestors, specifically during Samhain. Next, we turn to my rainbow wand. Now, this was made from a length of dowel rod that I bought at my local Walmart. I know they're a little more expensive now. At the time I bought this piece, this was like a 36-inch length of dowel that was less than $1. They're, like I said, they're a little more expensive now, but it is still less than $2. Depending on your diameter. Thicker diameter, of course, the more expensive the dowel will be. But I do not believe that any of the lengths that and diameters that Walmart has is over 2. I had the acrylic paint on already on hand, black for the banishing end, white for the invoking end. If I would have had to have bought that acrylic paint, again, in the craft section of Walmart, you can get basic acrylics for about 50 cents a container. So it would have been about $2 invested in the paint. Now, the rainbow colors and the zodiac signs, I do not have a very steady hand. So for that, I printed this on sticker paper, inkjet sticker paper. And then I just wrapped it around. The sticker paper, incidentally, is about $10, and that is for a pack of 8. I actually use sticker paper a lot, so that is a cost that's spread out around various items. Once the sticker paper was in place, I hit it all with a coat or two of warm gloss protective spray enamel. So, I mean, these are tools. They're not decorations. They are going to be used. So you will want to make sure to always protect your work. Again, I had the spray enamel already on hand. If I would have had to have bought it, it would have been about $5. Now, for my fire wand, for when I am working with those active fire energies, again, length of dowel rod purchased at Walmart. We've already gone over the cost with that. Again, acrylic paints. For this one, because I don't have a steady hand, the yellow inscriptions, I bought a yellow extra fine tip paint marker, and that cost me somewhere between $2 and $3. The the tip of the fire wand, that is actually a unfinished wood finial I ordered online. I bought 2 of them, and for the 2 of them, because they came 2 to a pack, that was about $3 or $4. And again, hit it with the protective sealant. So here we are looking at, less than, probably much less than a $10 investment for a functional fire wand, as opposed to $90 to $135 as we previously discussed. Okay, now moving from wands, we will move to my dagger. This is absolutely one of my favorite tools. I have bonded with this tool so much. This is my air dagger. You will probably notice that it does not look like a Golden Dawn air dagger traditionally looks like, and that is fine. I'm not strictly a Golden Dawn practitioner. I do incorporate, like some of their rituals, but even if I was, I am I love tradition. Let's not get me wrong on that. I absolutely love tradition. I understand the importance of tradition, but I think more important than tradition is how something personally resonates with the practitioner. So like I said, I've really bonded with this tool, and I really believe that, well, honestly, I have stored away a more traditional looking Golden Dawn air dagger, and it is stored away because I just don't resonate with it. So, that case in point. Going to the construction of this one, the blade is lapis lazuli. Now, I ordered the blade for this for using the Shein app, and it was only like about $3 or $4, which I thought for a shaped piece of lapis was a really good deal. The guard here, that is actually a piece of PVC cap that I spray painted silver and cut a little like a hole in the center for the blade to fit into, down into the handle where it is wood glued into place. The handle itself, the handle came from an old shovel that I owned, which broke. I really liked using the shovel handle, one, because it's already got a good fit for the hand, but two, because I had previously worked a lot with the shovel, the wood was already instilled with my own energies. The end of it is the other finial, where I said I got 2 when I ordered the one from my fire wand. It's just painted a little differently. Again, you got gold paint here, inscriptions with black paint pen. Now, what looks like metal bands here and here. Those aren't actually metal. Those are black elastic hair ties that I spray painted silver. Then I put some glue in the area that I wanted it to be, pushed them up really tight, let them dry, and I think it gave a really nice effect. Then, of course, I hit it with the spray protectant. Like I said, I really love this dagger. Absolutely adore this dagger. Now, the next ritual tool I did not craft from scratch because it involves metallurgy, and I am not a smithy. But I got this chalice at my local Goodwill. I saw it sitting on a shelf. It really like called to me, and so it cost me, if I remember correctly, $2.50. Then I used an engraving tool that I already had on hand for the inscriptions and the hexagrams. I don't know if you can see, but there's a hexagram down here at the base of the stem as well. If I would have had to have bought the inscription tool, you can actually get a really decent one at Harbor Freight. It's shaped like a pen, and it's diamond tipped and battery powered, and that costs about $10, $11. So you can use that to engrave on, like, soft metal such as this, or even on wood for, like any like wood projects you may be working on. From Oh, by far the highest cost investment I've had in any of my ritual tools has been for my ceremonial spear. Now, I won't go into a lot of detail about exactly why I have a ceremonial spear, other than to say that Uriel instructed me to make one, and so I did. That's about as far into that as I want to go. But again, metallurgy is outside my skill set. So for the spear tip, I ordered that from Amazon. I believe I paid somewhere between $25 to $30 for the spear tip. The shaft, again, is a piece of dowel rod. Now, Walmart didn't have thick enough diameter dowel to accommodate the spear tip, so I actually got this piece of oak dowel at, it was either Lowe's or Home Depot. I believe it was Lowe's. It was a little more expensive than what you pay at Walmart, but it was still only like, $5 or $6 for a good size piece, which I then, cut down to the length I needed. Um, you may notice I have some faux suede hand rests on it. Again, back to Walmart for those. They came from the crafting section. They come with 3 collars, and I can't remember how long, but there's a lot of like this cord on those, and those 3 collars. And that was only about $3 or $4 and left me with a lot of leftover cord for, like, future work as well. Now, the Jaguar emblems, well, they're not all Jaguar. For example, if you look at the end, there's a different design there and a different design up near the spear tip. Those, again, I used sticker paper. This time I used clear sticker paper. I used clear because when printers print, they don't actually print the color white. They rely on the underlying paper to provide the white color. So if you are printing something on clear sticker paper, anything that is white will actually come out transparent, allowing whatever is beneath to show through. So in this case, I put the sticker paper onto the aforementioned metallic duct tape, and I think it gave a really nice effect. Last thing I want to look at on my spear is the butt cap. That is actually an unfinished cabinet knob that I got from the hardware section of Walmart. I got a pack of 2 of those for right around $2.50 or so. Again, inscriptions, of course, are with my extra fine tip paint markers. and sprayed it down with that like clear spray enamel warm gloss again, because I really like the look that warm gloss gives. Moving right along, we will now turn our attention from ritual tools to divination tools. Because I was discussing sticker paper, I will go with this one first. If you watched my video on creating angelic seals, you will know that I utilize pre-cut wood hobby discs that I get again at Walmart. These 7-inch diameter ones, I think cost me somewhere between, well, probably right around $3 for that piece of wood. Now, once I had that, I stained a piece of wood a very like light golden pecan, so it would contrast very nicely against the um, sharp black lines of the design. Now, this is my pendulum board. Um, some of the detail is lost in this video for the most part, because on this one, I actually used a high gloss instead of the warm gloss, which makes the details a little bit harder to see. Again, I had the sticker paper and the enamel on hand. The only cost investment I had in this one was the wood disc and very functional pendulum board. Moving on next, we have my runes. Now, at Dollar Tree, I believe that's where I got these. They had a little bags of clear glass aquarium stones. And so I bought those, and then I took my extra fine tip black um, paint pen, and I inscribed the Nordic runes on them, like such. The pouch, by the way, is just something I already had on hand laying around. So, a little over $1. Well, at the time it was $1, but I know like nothing at the Dollar Tree is really $1 anymore. So, a little over $1, like a nice set of Nordic runes that is entirely useful. Again, you want to like hit even those, you want to hit them with that clear spray enamel to protect your work. Now, my other set of runes, that's in a pouch I made from a piece of felt, again, crafting section at Walmart, because that's what my small town has. Close it up with just a length of ribbon that I had laying around. Now, for this one, these witches runes, I was visiting my mom, and I went out into one of her gardens, and I looked around and found like stones that were, like light colored and the proper shape that I wanted, and, like relatively flat. And then I took my extra fine tip black paint pen and inscribed the witches' runes on them. Hit them with that protective sealant so that when you're casting them, it does not damage your work. So bag aside, cost investment in that, the stones were free. Again, we went over the cost of the marker and sealant. So, and if you already have it on hand from other tools, then you actually have a zero cost investment for a set of rings. Okay, last but not least will be my bowl for water divination, hydrancy. If the shape of the bowl looks familiar to you, it's because, yes, that is a chip and dip bowl for salsa. This one is plastic. I bought it at Walmart for 97 cents. This time I used a silver extra fine tip paint pen for the inscription around it. which is taken, it's a paraphrase and kind of an abbreviation of, I believe it's Psalm 118, I believe. I could be wrong on the number. It's one of the Psalms, but it says, open mine eyes that I might see. Again, 97 cents. I had the paint pen on hand. If I would have had to buy it, then, like $2, $3. So, $3 or so, you have an entirely functionable water scrying bowl. Incidentally, this bowl will be making an appearance in a future video. And I'm currently working on a video where I test 5 different methods of scrying and score them using a standardized rubric. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in seeing, make sure you hit that notifications bell so you will get notified whenever new content is uploaded here on the Transformative Alchemist. That being said, if you have any questions or thoughts about today's topic or would like to share links to images of ritual tools that you have personally created, I'd not only love to hear from you, but I would also love to see them. So feel free to drop that type of stuff in the comments. And honestly, I just want to thank you all so much for spending this time with me. I know I don't really, compared to other channels, I don't really have a lot of subscribers, but I do appreciate from the bottom of my heart each and every one of you who do subscribe to this channel and who take a little bit of time out of your days to spend with me. Thank you so very much. I humbly ask that you like and subscribe, share if you think there's anyone who could benefit from this material, as that will help this work reach a larger audience. Now, I'm not going to do this with every video. I don't want you to think that this video was made as a vehicle for this. It wasn't. I believe this information should be out there. I believe it should be accessible and free for anyone who needs it. But if you would like to support the channel further, I also humbly ask that you consider purchasing a copy of my book, Materia Magica, Grimoire of DIY recipes and ritual tools for the crafty witch. In the book, I have recipes for homemade incenses, oils, spell jars. There's a course section on ritual tools such as, chalices, daggers, athames, if you prefer that term, wands, a section on divination tools, including how to craft your own spirit boards and even your own oracle cards. And there's a lot more. For every category, I tried to include different methods of construction. It starts with the most very basic for those with the with the most minimal skill sets, and then goes up to more advanced methods. So again, that is something that is not required. This information is going to be free regardless. So don't feel like, you have to rush out and, purchase a copy of that book. Never required, but, if you choose to support the channel that way, always appreciated. Now, so that wraps it up for this, DIY ritual and, as it turned out, divination tools. So until next time, may your path be guided by wisdom, your practice meaningful, and your journey leads you ever closer to the divine. And as always, just walk in peace and light, my friends.